You know, I'm watching this morning where Obama and they're talking. This is NBC. They're talking about Obama and him not liking the talks he's just given about fake news on Facebook and social media. So they're trying to put censor the only media you have out there. I want to ask a question here. That's NBC, and they're in Rockefeller Plaza, like your mainstream. Rockefellers are the ones that kidnapped me. A friend of mine, almost 4 years ago, gave me a camera where I could video and upload what's happened to me because I cannot get an attorney in this country. And I have had every civil right and crimes committed against me, and the more that's done, the more they want to hide it. There's a blackout on me and any news, but going along with it, I've put all this up. It's easy. It's one of the most important stories if you don't care about me, what's happened to me, and obviously most people here don't. I wrote about Larry Flint. He was shot back then. Lawrenceville, Georgia. I'll say it again. I was doing a medical malpractice book, MD A License to Kill, which is unpublished because they almost killed me in 1980. April Fool Day. That's what it's been, to kidnap me. And I am a monarch the day I was born. My father, I've put all this up, Edward VIII never married Wallace Simpson. An impostor did. It was a takedown of my father. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, an American, sister to Georgia O'Keefe. The last time I knew for sure is when I came to Roanoke, Virginia, October the 20th of 86. And I know from the best source, yes I do, that my mom, Claudia Ruth, was still alive and that my father was still alive at that time. So the fake imposter died in 72 and was buried on Windsor Castle ground, Frogmore, I believe is what they say. Anyway, my point is they kidnapped me because I was born in 39, kidnapped in 41, because there was an addendum to my father's forced abdication. It went through legal channels. It is legal. The minute I took a breath, I was the legal heir, Victoria II. My father would have returned as my guardian and power of attorney. So his own brother, George VI, illegal. Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, the Kennedys, JFK, his older brother, flew in and out of the embassy before and after my kidnapping. So they did have something to do with it. I know that for sure. JFK and his father. Roosevelt had appointed him from 36 till they kicked him out in 46 as ambassador. How quaint, the timeline. Now I want to get to this fake, they're talking about fake news and fake flags and Obama and Zuckerman, and I hope they're talking about Google and they're going to start, in other words, censoring the only press left, the social media. No one touched, and they still haven't, the ongoing crimes done to me and my sons. I don't know if they're alive or dead. I'm run like people have asked me, are you running from the law? It's been the joke what they've done to me. And again, I've put this up, as much of it. Oh, there's more. And I hope that I get to present it before this country and the world and see what they think about it. There have been a few that have attempted to help, but very few. Most of them think it's a joke, and it's shocking. I mean, I was a baby when I was brought here. The crimes committed against me are horrific. It's a wonder I can get up at all in the morning and go through a day. But it's that nobody cares. They think it's a joke. You can kidnap a monarch and bring me over here and let me run around begging. I'm back to the point, though. I usually lay out Hustler magazine where Larry Flint endorsed me and said I knew who was responsible for his shooting. And he was shot in Lawrenceville. I lived in Marietta. I've put out where an attorney, the one time, I'm not sure she was my attorney, But she was put there and I had to take her because I was charged with living in the national forest, okay? Pulling my backpack when I had one and sleeping bag and freezing and starving because people were told not to help me. I was shut down. I get hardly any money now. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that again. I'm just going to say that. My jobs were blocked and everything. Now I've lost my train of thought, really. But I'm going to, I'm not going to do this video again. I want to thank the few people that did get in and try to help me. But the problem also with this that is if it's ever told, and it can be proven, but you have to tell it before a court or before, well, the UN would be a good place to start, wouldn't it? But then their arm of the Rockefellers and Rothschilds that helped kidnap me. And the media is controlled by them. And that was my point in making this video, too. I'll just say that. Was now they're trying to take down Facebook, censor it, and Google+, Twitter. The very social media that I put all this out on, now they're trying to censor it. And what do you think if it's ever forced before the United Nations or Congress or Parliament in England, if I'm able to go? What do you think the world's going to say about it? All this, you think it won't be this sick joke to look back and say, hey, look at all that's happened to this woman. You have to embarrass people sometimes. But also the fact that for whatever reason, I wrote the book before I found out about my kidnapping in '83. And I was writing about the use of mind control to murder. They teach you the Morse code. This is one way. At a low hearing range, you're not aware you're getting, like the dog whistle. The dog can hear it and you can't. So that's the easiest way to say it. And back then, when I was doing the book, somebody showed me the ham set. And I had worked for a wholesale company, electronics, out of high school doing bookkeeping. So I was aware of what a ham set is, etc. But, I mean, look at it now. But you're not allowed to say this. All of this has been tailored. If you mention it, well, that's crazy. The good one to point at is Aurora, Colorado, James Holmes, that did the mass shootings at Grand Theater. He is in prison or in, well, what do you call it, a mental hospital, being given psychotic drugs when that has nothing to do with mind control. He is being tortured. It's not just misdiagnosis, that's a joke, but that's what's going on with your mental health system. They're being used as a scapegoat for a weapon called mind control. Now, the media. That's what I started out on. The media is already controlled, or obviously they would have told about me, about my father marrying Georgia O'Keeffe's sister. She's an artist. They would tell about the mind control murders, but I can tell you this, that's what would bring them down, being forced to tell about it, because a number of them for certain can be proven. Oh, yes, they can. Now then, you can go back on some of them, and I've even forgotten years ago, before I found out about why this was all really happening, who I am. There's lists of them that go back. And by the way, when I was out at Flint's, he did mention the list, whether it's a list of murders. He was talking about the list of murders that I've been talking about, mind control murders. So if I sound a little garbled this morning, I have reason to be. I've fought my way through hell and high water, and this country watched me most of all, and I appreciate the few that did attempt to help. I really do, and I will remember them. But anyway, I started out this morning because I don't have much time left. I was a good-hearted soul that got kidnapped, love people, and they hate the messenger. So anyway, my friends were what was left in Great Britain, and the Germans, and a few Americans. And that was it. And part of this was done to your own people, the mind control murders. It's not just guns. They can have you run into the river and drown or develop cancer or etc. And you got Obama up there telling you that you're going to censor the only outlet you've got, the social media, because they've never told you any of this.